What's going on, guys? Emmanuel Jones here, and we back at it with another weekly prediction. It's time to do our week 7 predictions. Um, Last week I went 11-3, and my overall record is 60-32. Which is pretty good. And don't forget, we got two teams on a bye week. We got the Chicago Bears against my Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys on a bye week. So basically, we're gonna get started here. So before I give you my prediction for week 7, don't forget to put a thumbs up to the video, subscribe to my channel for more option, and comment down in the pin below to see who you got winning week 7. So let's get things started here. So basically, I had the Broncos winning 16-13, and they won 33-10. So which that was pretty good. So we're gonna get started with the rest of the games. We got a London matchup. We got the New England Patriots facing against the Jacksonville Jags. It was 5.5, but now Jags are favored by 6. So obviously we got another London matchup where Jacksonville spends another week in London. This game right here can totally go either way, but obviously I think the Patriots paid now. Drake Mays in his second start. I didn't really think he looked too bad against the Texans, but I don't think their offense did enough to win. But some people are picking New England because of Drake May, because they feel like Drake May is a better passer than Jacoby Brissett, because basically the last couple of weeks the Patriots offense was looking terrible. But you know what? I think this game right here can come down to a wire though. On the other side, Jacksonville looked pretty poor against the Bears. Like the Jags, they did not look pretty good on offense. The defense did not look really good. Their coaching has been bad lately. Because I heard people saying that if the Jags don't win this week, that Doug Peterson will be fired, which I believe he could be on the hot seat right now. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. It's weird to say that Jacksonville has a better quarterback than the Patriots and they have more weapons on offense, but I think the Patriots do have a better defense in my opinion. Like I think Gonzalez can do a good job, like covering Christian Kirk, Brian Thomas. Like their secondary is solid, but their pass rush is not really bad as you think, but I think they can get pressure because I don't think the Jags O line's good. Now the Jags defense has been concerning. Now the Patriots offense can give them issues, but I think the only way Jacksonville can win this game is that they can have a better game plan. I do lean towards Jacksonville to win because they're the more complete team, have the better quarterback, they got the better coaching, they got more weapons on offense. This could be a home game for Jacksonville because Jacksonville really plays well in London. But last time they struggled in London last time, but I believe this is a game where Jacksonville, I think they're gonna get it together on offense. So I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna say they win like 23-20, something like that. I'll take the Patriots with the points, but I'll take the Jaguars to win in a close one. I think they can win by a field goal, or maybe they can win by like one score, or maybe they can win by a defense stepping up. So yeah, I lean towards the Patriots to cover, but I lean towards Jacksonville to win. Next game we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's favored by 3. Obviously, this game right here gonna totally go either way. The Falcons, they have been looking pretty solid for the last couple of weeks with over wins. I mean, they're on a hot streak right now. While the Seahawks, they have totally been falling apart after a 3-0 start. I mean, they are on a losing streak right now. Now, the question is, can Seattle bounce back? We don't know. Now, here's the thing. Seattle does have a really good defense though, but I feel like their pass rush is kind of overwhelming a little bit. Like sometimes they just have trouble getting pressure. But now trading for Roy Robinson Harris helps. But I think the question is that can Seattle get pressure against Cousins? Like we don't know because I think what the Falcons like to do, they like quick passes. Now the Seahawks do have some injuries on defense because I feel like Tariq could be out. So I feel like if he's out, that means Drake London can have a good game or Darnell Mooney can. Um, Love against Pitts is a good matchup. I think Witherspoon can take on maybe Mooney or Drake London. Atlanta likes to do is run the ball, and Seattle's kind of really weak against the run. I feel like that the only way Atlanta can win is that they can find a way to sustain a good offensive drive, keeping Geno on the sideline, controlling the game. But I have a feeling that the Seahawks defense can do a good job, like crowd stop, like put everybody in the box to stop the run. I feel like Mike McDonald can have a plan to do that. But here's the thing. I don't think the Falcons defense is as good as the Seahawks, but I think Seattle has a better defense in my opinion, which I think their defense can do a good job, like getting pressure on Cousins, and I think offensive line for the Seahawks has been an issue, but they've been running the ball better. But I don't think the Falcons do have the cover guys to match up with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Jackson Njigba, especially Noah Fant. But the Falcons do got good players in the secondary, but sometimes just can't defend. I think Seattle, just has a good game throwing at them. I feel like Geno can have a good game here. Kirk can even have a good game as well. But this is going to be one of my upsets of the week. I'm going to take the Seahawks to get back on track to end the 3-game losing streak, and I'm going to take them to win this game because I think Seattle has a better defense, and I feel like they just need this win more than the Falcons if they really want to keep their hopes alive. So, yeah. But it's going to be a close game. But if the Falcons win, I wouldn't be shocked because I know Kirk is a better quarterback than Geno. But I lean towards Seattle because they just need to win in order for them to get their hopes alive. And so yeah, and I think DK Metcalf will have a good game as well. So yeah, I think the Seahawks win this game because I think they're just a better version of the Falcons. But I'll take them +3 as well. I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna say 31-24, 24-17, something like that. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a lower scoring game. So I take Seattle to win. I like Seattle in this matchup. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills. The Bills were favored at 9, but now the number changed, saying they're favored at 8.5. Obviously, the Bills do have some injuries on offense. Now, the one thing is that the Bills did add a receiver. They added in Amari Cooper to help out the passing game, Amari Cooper addition, which I really, really like, which I think it helps their passing game. Josh Allen has been on fire lately. He hasn't thrown an interception in weeks now. I mean, I would pick Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen can definitely be my MVP. So yeah. The Bills on offense, they have been looking good. Last week I thought they really ran the ball without James Cook. Like they really did. I feel like they can run the ball really more in this game. Despite the Titans really having a good run defense. Now, the Titans have been weak against the run lately, but they have been against the run, but they have not been great against the pass. Now, the Titans, do have some injuries. Will Levis is questionable with a shoulder injury, which I don't know he'll play. Snead is questionable. They do have injuries. The Bills do have some injuries as well. But the Titans have totally been not looking pretty good as lately. So I'm going to lean towards Buffalo. They're the better team, better quarterback, better coaching. They're at home. And I just think the defense of Buffalo is just going to give the Titans offense a lot of issues, though. I think they can do a good job stopping their running game. They can do a good job, like stopping the pass as well. They got some good corners, which that can really cover against D Hop and Calvin Ridley. Um, I think Josh Allen's going to make some magic happen this game. I don't think the Titans really have enough offensively to keep up with Buffalo. So I take the Bills to win. I take them to cover as well. But I don't think it's going to be any close. I think they're going to at least win at least by like 2 scores. Like 31 to like 16, something like that. Or like 31, 38, 16. Something like that. I don't see the Titans scoring 20 points in this game because Will Levis has not been really good lately. So, yeah. I feel like Josh Allen is just going to be too much right there. So, that's why I think the Bills will win and I think the Bills will cover. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. The Bengals are fair at 5.5. Obviously, this game right here can definitely go either way because both these two teams are on a slow start. Now, the Browns are totally coming off like 3 straight losses, and the Bengals are coming off a win on Sunday night against the Giants. Obviously, I think this game right here is going to be very, very close. I think it's probably going to be a defensive game because the Browns defense last week, I thought it looked really good against the Eagles. Like they really hung around the game. They just didn't do enough on offense. And Deshaun Watson has totally not been looking like himself lately. That they have not been the same since he hasn't looked the same since like 2019 or like 2020, like or 2021. Like he hasn't looked the same since then because he missed a full season. And the Browns have totally been struggling to score 20 points. And especially, due to the offensive line not playing well and they're not running the ball. And Deshaun has not thrown for over 200 yards since last season. So the Browns offense does look a little shaky right now because, they just traded their best receiver in Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was a really good player, but they traded him. So now you got Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Moore. The Browns got so many injuries, especially on the offensive line. I feel like Conklin coming back could help. Nick Chubb coming back could definitely help them run the ball. They have not been running the ball really well. The Bengals defense they're really good against the run. So I think if they can stop the running game, I think the Browns will not have good success. The Browns, I think they can do a good job, like stacking the box, stop the run. They can force some turnovers too. But as I look at it, I think this game right here is going to be fun to watch. I think the Bengals can totally do a good job in the secondary, like playing sticky cover against an underwhelming receiving core of the Browns. I think they can stop their running game, and they can like force like Deshaun Watson to like beat them with Jerry Jeudy, something like that. And then I just really think the Browns defense can totally get them an issue though because the Lions offense because the Bengals offense does struggle against the Browns because of the defensive game plan. Jim Schwartz is a good defense coordinator, but at the same time it doesn't really matter because I feel like Deshaun Watson seems like he can't really get it done against his offense, while Joe Burrow is capable of getting things done on offense. I think the Bengals offense can come with a good game plan. I think they can like control the game, keep Watson on the sideline, which I will put them in position to win. So I think it will be close, but I'm gonna lean towards Cincy to win because I feel like Cincy's just a better team. They have the better quarterback. Um, their coaching's a little bit better than the Browns, I guess. I think it will be close to like a low scoring game because I think the Browns defense can give them issues as well. So I'm gonna take the Browns with the points, but I am taking Cincy to win because there's the better team overall, and I think Joe Burrow can do enough to get it done against this Browns defense. And I feel like the Bengals will come with some quick passes with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. and all that. So yeah. So I like the Bengals to win, but I like the Browns to cover. Next game we have the Houston Texans versus the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 2.5. Obviously, this game right here can go either way. This can be this is America. This could be America's game of the week. Obviously, I think the Texans are totally coming off a win against the Patriots, and the Packers are coming off a win against the Cardinals. Obviously, when you look at the matchup, like it's two young quarterbacks playing against each other. Now, Jordan Love has been playing his best ball, and so is CJ Stroud. Now, as you look at most people are picking Houston to win because they have the better quarterback in this game. But Diggs can totally be a problem with the Packers, though, which he totally is. But I feel like the Packers do have enough guys in the secondary that can cover him and double him, something like that. You got the Packers defense is really good against the run, but sometimes the Packers sometimes don't really blow good teams out because sometimes the offense will just catch up. But as I look at it, the Packers do got some young receivers that can give the Texans offense issues. They can run the ball a little bit, but the question is, can Houston's defense get pressure? Like, we don't know because we know the secondary is really good. They're good against the run. The Packers sometimes they're good against the run, but sometimes they're weak against the pass because they give up too many big plays. But I feel like the Packers could have success on early downs if they can move the ball. So yeah, but at the same time, if the Packers got so many injuries on defense, I think it's going to open the door for the Texans to run the ball because I feel like they can run the ball with Joe Mixon and all that. So yeah. Now the question is, the Packers do got injuries on so many injuries at wide receiver, which I think they're going to be playing. Like Wicks should be playing, Reed should be playing, Christian Watson should be playing. Tucker Kraft, he should play due to injury. Now, their defensive lineman, Devontae Wyatt, is out for this game, which that kind of hurts. Now, the Packers could totally have success, run the ball. Now, they could. I feel like Matt LaFleur is going to have a good offensive drive. Like, I think he would. And I think, the receivers of Green Bay will have a good game. And I think it's going to be too much for Houston's secondary to handle. Because I think the Texans secondary is young and the Packers kind of have a better secondary than the Texans because the Packers got really good corners that can match up with the Texans receivers. They have a great pass rush that can get after CJ Stroud. So I'm going to lean towards the home team, Green Bay, to win this game because they're at home. And I just think Green Bay, is going to have a good offensive drive. I think they're going to control the ball, control the middle of the field, set up some quick passes and all that. And I think they're going to keep Stroud off the field and all that, which I think that can help the Packers, get in position to win this game. The only way Houston wins this game is that if Bobby Slow comes with a good game plan against the Packers defense and their offense finds a way to at least attack the Packers defense. I think CJ Stroud can totally make some magic happen, but I think Jordan Love will have a day here. So I'm gonna lean towards Green Bay to win, but I will take the points with Houston. I think Houston keeps it close, and I think they hang around this game. I think Green Bay wins I think they win by 1 point. I think they can win by a touchdown or a field goal. I think they can win by a touchdown. So I'm gonna say they win at least by 1 point. I think it will be high scoring, but I'm gonna say Green Bay wins by one point. I'm gonna say 31-30. So yeah. So I think the Green Bay Packers win by 1 point. So yeah. I'll take the Texans with the cover, but I'll take the Packers to win. Next game, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored at -3. Obviously, this game right here can totally go either way. Now, I could totally see the Dolphins win this game because the Dolphins receivers versus an atrocious secondary of the Colts is totally not a good matchup. Um, the Colts, they don't have a passing game, and the Dolphins do have a really good passing attack with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Now the O line should be get better as Tyron Armstead come back. Now the defense is totally not overwhelming but I think their secondary is pretty good and their pass rush is very good. But I feel like their defense has struggled. But I feel like they have been atrocious against the pass and they've been atrocious against the run lately. And if Jonathan Taylor plays in this game, I think the Colts can totally run the ball and have success. But I feel like it appears that Jonathan Taylor is probably going to be ruled out because he hasn't practiced all this week. Now, Michael Pittman should play and Josh Downs should play, which that can help their passing offense. Now, if Joe Flacco plays in this game, they could have a passing game because when he played, Joe Flacco really looked really well against the Titans. And then with Anthony Richardson, he's bad, which I think he will play, but I think he's gonna make a mistake. He could make a mistake in this game, which I can see it happening because he can't really he can't really throw. Like sometimes he runs, but I think the Colts do have a good offensive line to at least protect Richardson. Their defensive line, they've been really bad against the run. So I feel like the Dolphins, if they can run the ball on the Colts, I feel like they can have success. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna lean towards the Colts because the Colts are just. I just feel like the Colts, are just. Without Tua, I don't see how the Dolphins are gonna be able to move the ball consistently very well or throw the ball really well. Because without Tua, they may not have a passing game. But if Tua was playing this game, I can definitely see the Dolphins' offense going off, and I would pick Miami. But since the Dolphins proved to me they cannot win with Tua, I think the Colts find a way to win because the Colts are at home and they're more stable at the quarterback position. And I think Anthony Richardson is going to make some plays against a Dolphins defense that's totally not great. So yeah, and I feel like Mike. I understand that Mike McDaniel's coming off a bye, and he has other time prepared and study against Gus Bradley, which is something that you might not want to do. But I think Gus Bradley can have a good game plan against Mike McDaniel, which I can see it happening. So yeah, I lean towards the Colts to win, but given the points with Miami, I think Miami keeps this one close, and I think they keep this competitive. I'm probably going to say the Colts win by one score. I'm going to say 23-16, 19-16, something like that. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, something like that. So I lean towards the Colts to win, but I lean towards the Dolphins to cover, to keep it close. Because I feel like Tyler Huntley can find a way to at least get find the guys open so that way they can attack the coverages of the Colts, which I think it can happen, but yeah, but I think the Colts find a way to pull it off. But will I be shocked if the Dolphins win this game? No, but I feel like if the Dolphins win, they could definitely get their season back on track. So yeah, so I'll take the Dolphins. So yeah, I like the Dolphins to cover, but I take the Colts to win the game. Next game we have the Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is favored by 1.5. I think they're favored by a field goal or a touchdown. So I think the Vikings, this game can go either way. Now, most people are picking the Vikings to win because the Vikings are kind of dangerous and could have the best defense in the NFL under Brian Flores. Because we know what Brian Flores likes to do. He likes to blitz, which that's what he likes to do. He likes to blitz, and the Lions do have a great pass rush. They can get after. Because I feel like the Lions without Aiden Hutchinson, which I feel like it hurts them a lot because now the Lions got two of their best defensive players out, which I think with them being out could totally help the Vikings offense, move the ball, which I think they can help them move the ball and run the balls consistently. But Aaron Jones is questionable due to an injury. But if he does play, it can probably they can have success running the football. Now, I feel like the Vikings are very dangerous on offense. I don't really know if the Lions are going to be able to cover Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison because Justin Jefferson's kind of too quick. Um, I feel like Arnold or Carlton Davis could cover them, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. So yeah, and then you got the Lions defense. On the other side, the Lions have one of the best offensive lines in football, and I feel like the Lions have found a formula to attack Brian Flores lately. Like, like Ben Johnson has found a way to do it twice though. Like, could he do it again? Like, I don't know. I think the Lions, can find a way to at least like move the ball against the Vikings, and I think the Vikings adding Gilmore helps, but I think the Lions are capable on offense of attacking, their secondary and their DBs, which Amon Rock and Sam Laporte can have a good game. Jameson Williams had a good game last week, so I can see it happening. But I don't know they're going to be able to run the ball as much, which I think they can. Now, the Lions have totally been good against the run, but I feel like their run defense could definitely be a little suspect due to Aiden Hutchinson being out for the year. So, yeah, I mean, this can go either way. The game's in Minnesota, but I'm going to lean towards the Lions. I'm going to say the Vikings get their first loss this season just because I think Minnesota's going to come down to earth despite them coming off a bye. Jared Goff is the better quarterback. I think the Lions are the better team overall. Maybe they're both similar to each other. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings seem like they are the best team. But I think the Vikings, I just think the Lions are gonna like come up with some quick passes in this game against the Vikings defense. Like, I don't think the Vikings, So yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions to win plus the 1.5. I think the Lions win by like one score. I'm gonna say 24-17. I think it's gonna be more of a lower scoring game because last week the Lions defense really played lights out against, you know, like they played lights out against, the Cowboys, which I don't know if they can do it again, which I think they can do it because no, the offense found a way to move the ball. So yeah, I like the Lions here to win in a close one. So yeah, I'm going with Detroit. Next game we have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. The Eagles are favored by 3, I guess. So yeah, but obviously I got Philly in this game. And here's the thing. The Eagles don't got Goddard, which that kind of sucks. But they do have better offense, more weapons on offense. They have a better running game, better team, better quarterback. I think the coaches are very even. Um, the Eagles have a better, more players on defense. I don't think their defense has totally been playing bad as of recently. Um, the Eagles do have injuries. Slade could be out due to a knee injury. We know Byron Young is out. The Giants do have injuries on defense as well. Brian Burns is questionable to play with the groin. Um, Dexter Lawrence has a hip injury. He's questionable. We know Kayvon Thibodeau is out. I feel like with those guys being out, it could totally help the Eagles. It could totally help the Eagles offense, have success, run the ball, give Jalen Hurts extra time. And I feel like, Saquon can have a good game because this is the Saquon revenge game as well because he was a Giant. I feel like he can have a good game against this Giants defense. No Andrew Thomas, no left tackle, which that hurts. I felt the Giants' offensive line will struggle in this game against this Eagles pass rush. I think I could see this game being closer if the Giants' offense can come up with a good game plan. But the Eagles are kind of too good they're too good to beat them. And I feel like Philly has owned them in the past. So basically, I'm gonna take the Eagles to win because and to cover because I think the Eagles are gonna find a way to move the ball. They'll find a way on defense to like give the Giants offense issues. And Malik Neighbors could be back for the Giants, which we don't know who's gonna be covering Malik Neighbors. I feel like he's been a beast, so you shouldn't sleep on that. Daniel Jones, the Giants offense did not look really good against the Bengals because they only had 7 points. Like they were slow. But I feel like the Eagles are gonna come out quick. And I feel like the Eagles are gonna come out with a lot of firepower on offense. Um I think they're gonna score like 30. I think they're gonna score like 30 points in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna say Eagles are gonna win like 30-16. So basically, I'm taking the Eagles both ways in this game. I don't think the Giants gonna be able to do enough to keep up, but I understand that the Giants really beat them last year, but I think the Eagles are gonna find a way to pull it out. So I take the Eagles to win. I take the Eagles to cover. But if long as the Giants offense don't do much, if they can do something on offense, I think they can keep this game close. So I lean towards turns Philly both ways. Next game we have the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Rams. Um the Rams are favored by 7. So basically this game right here, it's probably not gonna be fun to watch because the Raiders, they traded their best wide receiver away in Devontae Adams. The Raiders got so many injuries on offense. Jacoby Myers is doubtful to play due to injury, so he might not play. Zamir White, he's questionable due to a groin. Um, Brock Bowers is healthy enough. The Raiders could totally be without their top receivers and their running back. Um, which the Raiders offense has totally not been playing good as of lately. Their defense is totally it's okay, but it's not been playing as good as is expected to be. Um the Rams, they could be getting Cooper Cup back, which that can really help their passing game. Puka won't be back till week 8, which I expected because they're saying that he won't be back till week 8. And I feel like the Rams do have an extra week to prepare because they're coming off a bye. So I think the Rams, find a way to win this game at home. They have the better quarterback, better coaching. They're at home. They got a better receiving core, in my opinion, more weapons on offense. I think the Rams are gonna run the ball with Kyron Williams. I think the Rams offense is just gonna have a big game against the Raiders defense. I mean, the Rams could be getting pieces back on their getting their offensive linemen players back, which I can totally. I mean, Christian Wilkins out, that could help with Matthew Stafford having extra time. Um, I feel like Cooper Cup's gonna have a good game here against this Raiders defense, which I don't think is as good. Like the Raiders don't have a great secondary. Like I don't think nobody in that secondary can cover Cooper Cup 1-on-1 because I feel like Cooper Cup is gonna have like 10 plus catches in this game, and Kyle Williams probably gonna like run the rock. Yeah, the Rams offense is gonna be too much for the Raiders defense to handle, and I don't think the Raiders really have enough explosiveness on offense to keep up. So I think it could be a lower scoring game, but I could easily see the Rams blowing them out because the Rams defense is not really good, but the only part where the Rams defense is only really good is that when they play against bad teams. But I think this game is going to be a little bit of a low scoring game. I'm going to say the Rams win like 20-13, more like a lower scoring game, something like that, similar to last time. Because I believe last time when these two teams play, I believe the Rams did win, which they did beat the Raiders, though, by 1 point. That's when Baker Mayfield had the game-winning touchdown. I think the Rams win by one score by a touchdown. So I do lean towards the Rams to win this game, but I'll take the Rams to cover as well. I know 7 is a lot, but I'll take the Rams to cover, and I'll take them to win as well at home. All right, next game we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Commanders. Um, Washington is favored by 9. This is a lot. Obviously, this game right here, you know, I got Washington Commanders bouncing back and winning this game. They're at home in this game. They have the better quarterback in Jaden Daniels. They have a better coaching. They're at home in this game, and they're just a better team. Like, Washington is really doing really well. We know the Commanders kind of really stay competitive against the Ravens until they kind of falling apart. I don't see this doing this against the Panthers. Um, Terry McLaurin is gonna go off in this game. He's just gonna be too much for the Panthers defense handle. Zach Ertz can have a good game. Luke McCaffrey can have a good game. I feel like they can run the ball in Carolina because I don't think the Panthers' run defense is good. I feel like Brian Robinson can have a good game. Austin Eckler can have a good game. Um, um, yeah. The old line is playing better for Washington. The defense, it's okay, but I don't think it's as great. But I think their defense can probably. I feel like Dan Quinn's defense can totally find a way to like confuse Andy Dalton. So yeah. So other than that, I think Washington is Jaden Daniels is too much for the Panthers defense. So yeah. I mean, no Jonathan Allen. That can totally help the Panther O line and line play good, and don't have extra time. But I don't think Carolina has a great O line. So I think I think the Panthers. I think they can keep this close in this game. I think they keep it close. But I'm gonna say Washington will win because I'm gonna say they at least win at least by like 1 point, which I can see them winning by 1 point. But I have a feeling that Washington's probably gonna at least win by like I think they'll win by 6. So I'm gonna say Washington wins like 23-17, something like that. I think they win by 1 score. But I'm gonna take the points with Carolina because I think Carolina can keep up with Washington in this game. I think they can do enough to keep up with the Commanders. So yeah, but I'm gonna take Carolina to cover, but I'll take Washington to win because they're at home in this game. So yeah, so I like Washington to win at least by 6. Next game we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are favored by 1.5. Actually, they're favored by 2 because now they got Mahomes as an underdog this week. The Chiefs are totally coming off a bye, and the Niners are totally coming off a win on Thursday night against the Seahawks. Obviously, this game can go either way. Now, most people are picking the Chiefs to win because of history, and Mahomes has totally owned the Niners as of recently, though. But as you look at it, I just have a feeling that, the Chiefs do have injuries, with Pacheco still being on IR, and then, Rashee Rice on IR, still being out for the season kind of sucks. Um, The Chiefs' offense is totally not playing as great as it used to be, not playing normal. The Niners, you can make an argument that the Niners' offense is playing better than the Chiefs because Brock Purdy looks better than playing better than Mahomes right now. Because the Chiefs have not scored like 30 points since I don't even know the last time. So yeah, so the Chiefs, I don't really see how they're going to be able to run the ball on the Niners. I think the Niners defense can do a good job stopping the run, crowd the box, force some mistakes. Um, I think the Niners do have a great pass rush. Maybe they can give Mahomes some issues. I feel like they do have a good secondary to match up with the Chiefs receivers. which I think they can do that. Um, the Niners defense, I think it's better than the Chiefs in my opinion, but the Chiefs defense has it's been a bit overrated at some point because sometimes they just can't stop the pass. We see them got shredded by the Ravens and the Bengals, and then they a little bit got shredded by the Falcons a little bit, and then their defense started to play good against, which they barely beat the Chargers, and they only allowed 10 points in them, and they beat the Saints at least by a lot, almost by 2 scores. So basically, the Chiefs had totally been up and down on defense. Um, I thought the Niners can totally have success on offense, like with some quick passes to like Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, and then you got Juwan Jennings, which Ricky Purcell coming back. Him being active for the first time. Juwan Jennings has been good and Deebo Samuel has been good, but they're both out, which it kind of sucks. Now, Niners have totally been running the ball better with Jordan Mason, with CMC out, and I think the Niners can have a really good game plan, though, especially on offense and on defense. I feel like they do have enough on the offensive line to at least, like, control the Chiefs' pass rush. They have, like, and I think the Niners do have corners to match up with the Chiefs receiving core. I feel the Niners, if they can, like, if they get Hufanga back and help, I think they can. If Ward comes back, it can help them, and he'll find a way to cover Worthy. I think if they can at least like take away Kelsey and make them throw the ball to other people, I think it can totally help the Chiefs, the Niners defense, have success. They can have success on offense, and I think George Kittle can have a good game, and Brandon Ayuk can have a good game as well. And I feel like Purdy can have a good game as well. Now the question is, could it be holding calls? Could it be false start or interference call? We don't know. So basically, I don't really know what the refs are gonna say. So yeah, so yeah, I think this game right here is going to be close and competitive, but it could be lower scoring. But I'm going to lean towards San Francisco to win and get revenge on the Chiefs because they really want that revenge, from after the Niners have lost to the Chiefs so many times. I just don't see it happening again. I just feel like the Niners are going to find a way on offense to control the game, keep Mahomes on the sideline, and and come up with a good offensive drive to win them the game. But I'm going to say the Niners win at least by 3. I think they can win by a field goal. I'll take Kansas City with the points. I think Kansas City keeps us close and competitive, but I just don't think they're going to do enough to win. So I'll take the Chiefs to cover, but I'll take the 49ers to win this game. Next game, we have the New York Jets versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, the Jets are favored by 2. I don't know why the Jets they got now the Steelers are underdogs in this game. Um, the Jets, they're coming off 3 straight losses, and the Steelers are coming off a big win against the Raiders. Now, the thing is about the Steelers is they're switching quarterbacks after a win, which that's very odd. Which that's kind of odd to see. And the Steelers are more like a voodoo version of high school, like the high school level team of football. While the Jets, they're kind of like that too, but the Jets got Devontae Adams, which I think Devontae Adams is probably going to come in there and like have a good game here because I feel like that, I feel like Devontae Adams don't really need the playbook. Like he pretty much knows the playbook, which I don't think he really needs it because I feel like if Aaron Rodgers just points at Devontae Adams to run a route, then he'll give Devontae Adams the ball and then he'll just run a straight route. The other part is that did Devontae Adams just run like the same route, or did he like just go, or did he like separate? Like, I don't really know, but I feel like Aaron Rodgers can totally have a good game against the Steelers defense But I feel like Garrett Wilson can totally have a good game and like catch 15 and have 15 catches in the slot. Alan Lazar can do the same thing. If Conklin comes back, it can help. The Steelers, they got Russell Wilson starting at quarterback, which I think the Steelers offense is just gonna be like, which Russell Wilson's either washed or he which he is closer to that. Now the Steelers are playing against a Jets team that's a Jets defense that's totally not as good, but is okay. But the Jets have been a little weak against the run, but against the pass they've been fine. But their defense is totally not playing good because the Jets have lost like 3 straight games because they lost to the Broncos which that was a fluke where their kicker missed the field goal. Then they lost to the Vikings where Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over like 3 times. And then they lost to the Bills where Aaron Rodgers threw an interception before a 2-minute warning, which that was crucial. So the Jets have totally been not looking like themselves as of lately. The Steelers have totally been looking competitive because we know Justin Fields isn't great, but now they're starting Russell Wilson, which I think he is better than Fields. So yeah, so basically, I think this game right here will be close, but I am gonna take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game because they're at home. Um, it's tough to play in Pittsburgh. Their pass rush is very insane with T.J. Watt. I feel like they get Alex Highsmith back and Herbig back. I feel like the Steelers secondary, is really good. Like I think they can stop the pass pretty good. Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson are a problem with the Steelers defense, but I feel like Mike Tomlin can be smart enough to double like one of them. I think he's smart enough to at least like double Devontae Adams in situations like they can like put Joey Porter on Devontae Adams or put Mika on someone like that. So yeah, and then maybe they'll double team one of these guys and like make the Jets throw the ball to people and force Aaron Rodgers to beat them. The Jets do have a good offensive line, but I think the Steelers' defense is just going to be a problem. Like their pass rush will be a problem with the Jets' O line. So yeah, and is in Pittsburgh and is at home, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But I think the Jets are probably going to do the same thing what Dak did, like go with some quick passes, like fast passing without running the ball, which I think they can do that. But I don't think the Jets gonna be able to run the ball as good because we know the Steelers are really good against the run, but they're not good against the pass. So I think the Steelers defense will win them this game, or maybe they win by a field goal. I'm gonna say they win like 19-16, something like that. So yeah, I like the Steelers to win this game at home, but give me the points though. Okay, we got a Monday Night Football. We got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Ravens are favored by they're favored by 3.5. Obviously, this game right here can go either way. Obviously, I do think the Bucks. There's a chance the Bucks can win, but at the same time, most people are picking the Bucks to win because the defense, of the Buccaneers. Because the Bucks do have good defense, and the Ravens got good defense too. Now, I like what the Bucks did on offensively. They were really moving the ball against the Saints defense because we know the Saints defense was really bad last week. Like it was bad against Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay put up 51 points against them, and all of a sudden the Saints were looking good in the first half until they start falling apart. But the Bucks, their defense has totally been playing good on Todd Bowles because his scheme is really good, and especially Todd Bowles is really good against mobile quarterbacks. But I have a feeling that there's a chance I think Tampa can win this game. If Todd Bowles finds a way to blitz Lamar and get pressure, I think there's a chance the Bucks can win this game. So basically, this game right here is totally interesting though. and it's very close. But at the same time, the Ravens do have a top defense in the NFL. Like the Bucks can as well. But as you look at the Bucks, they do have injuries on offense now. They saying that Mike Evans is a game time decision. If he doesn't play, that can be a huge blow to their offense. Rashad White is questionable. Bucky Irvin's been a good running back, but I have a feeling that despite the Bucks defense being good, I think the Ravens can run the ball a little bit on them, because even though the Bucks have been really good against the run and have been good against the pass, but the Ravens are the same as well. Now, the Bucks, they do have Jamel Dean out, which that can probably help the Ravens passing game a lot better, which I think they can at least find some guys open. I feel like Zay Flower can have a good game, and Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Bateman. I feel like with Jamel Dean being out, it could help the Ravens second. It can help the Ravens passing game, which I don't think nobody on the Bucks secondary can cover Zay Flowers. Which I think Zay Flowers is going to go off in this game. Derrick Henry can have a good game. Their defense can have a good game as well. I think they can do a good job getting pressure on Baker, force mistakes. The Ravens do have a good secondary that can man up against the Bucks receivers. I feel like Humphrey on Mike Evans is a good matchup, and Hamilton on Auden is a good matchup as well. So that's something to see. So yeah. So by the way, I think this game will be close though, because I believe last time when these two teams play, I think the Bucks did. I think the Ravens beat them by at least by 5 points. That's when Tom Brady was in the game. But now the Ravens are playing against a different team with no Tom Brady. Now it's going to be Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield has had success against the Ravens before, but I think the Bucks are going to come down to earth in this game. So I'm going to take Baltimore to win this game. I just think Baltimore is just way too good. I think they're just more dangerous. I think they're the better version of the Bucks. I think the Ravens are a more complete team and have the better. They're the more complete team after all. I know it's in Tampa, but the Ravens are just where Baltimore team is traveling to Florida. I just think the Ravens are just a better team, the better version of the Bucks. So I like the Ravens to win this game, but I'm gonna take the 3.5 with the Bucks. I think the Bucks are gonna find a way to cover this game to keep it close. I think they can cover the spread in this game. So yeah, I think they can do that. So I like the Ravens to keep it. I think it will be super close. I think the Ravens win by 1 point. I'm gonna say 24 to 23. I think it's gonna be more like a lower scoring game. So I'll take the Bucks with the points, but I'll take the Ravens to win the game. And then last game, we got another doubleheader, another Monday night game. We have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Chargers are favored by 2.5. Obviously, this game can go either way. Most people are picking the Cardinals to win because Arizona's kind of a tricky place to play at. That's where Kyler Murray is a challenge, where he runs around and he escapes pressure. But at the same time, the Cardinals, I don't think they're good. They got some good weapons on offense. They do have good offense, but they just don't have a good defense. I think the Chargers do have a better defense. The Chargers have been looking pretty good against the Broncos. I thought their defense played better, but the offense is totally playing better as well. But it's weird to say that the Cardinals do have a better receiving core than the Chargers. But I think it doesn't really matter because the Chargers have one of the best offensive lines in football, and I think they can run the ball on the Cardinals. And then the Chargers defense is very good, but I don't think their defense is overwhelming. They got some good edge rushers like Khalil Mack and Bosa, which that can totally give Kyler Murray and the Cardinals offense issues. But I think their secondary of the Chargers is really, really good. I think it's pretty much underrated. I think their corners can find a way to cover Marvin Harrison Jr. If they can double him and force Arizona to throw the ball to people and force Kyler to beat them, I think it can help the Chargers, win this game. But at the same time, the only way the Cardinals find a way to win this game is that they can come up with a good offensive drive, control the game, keep Herbert on the sideline. So, yeah. But at the same time, I'm going to take – I know it's in Arizona where it's kind of tricky, but I'm going to lean towards the Chargers because they're the more complete team and have the better quarterback. And I think they have the better coaching as well. So, yeah. But I think the only way that I feel like the Chargers can have a good offensive game plan, and I think they can find a way to at least like control the game, keep Kyle on the sidelines, which I think can help the Chargers win this game. So yeah, because I believe last time when these two teams played, the game was in Arizona, and the Chargers won that game at least by 1 point. But I think it will be closer like last time. Like I think the Chargers, I think the Chargers win at least by like 3. I think they can win by 4 points. I think they can at least win at least by like 4 or 3 points, something like that. Maybe like a 23-20 or a 27-23, something like that. So, yeah, I take the Chargers to win. I'll take the Cardinals with the points to keep it close and competitive. So, yeah. So, I like the Chargers here in this game. I like the Chargers to win, but I like the Cards to cover. Well, those are all my Week 7 picks for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what are your Week 7 picks for this week. So, yeah, you can always disagree with me if you want. So, yeah. So, is Emmanuel Jones from Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later in the next video. Peace.